Hi everyone, so we're looking at December 16 question number 4 part 2. It's basically a question of 7 marks and it gives us a scenario. It says that you are the financial controller of Omega, a listed entity preparing group financial statements under IFRS. The fact of the matter is, it says that the notes to financial statements say that plant and equipment, right? So let's underline that. Plant and equipment is held under the cost model. However, property which is owner occupied is revalued annually, and the changes in fair value are sometimes reported in profit or loss, but usually in other comprehensive income, right? It's purely a reference of IAS 16, property, plant and equipment. It says that also the depreciation on plant and equipment is, as a proportion of carrying amount, is much higher than for owner property. So that is something which is a observation by somebody here. It says, another note says that the owned property rented out to others, okay, so this is an investment properties case, is not depreciated and is revalued. The changes in the fair value are always shown through profit or loss. Explain how these treatments are consistent with relevant standards. So precisely we are talking about two standards being discussed. One is IAS 16 and of course second is IAS 40. So this is of course my property, plant and equipment. All right, and this is investment property, right? The first observation, notes to financial statements say the plant and equipment held under cost model, property under fair value model. So this is something which is permitted. So we say under IAS 16, okay, an entity may use either a cost or revaluation model for a class of assets, right? Therefore, it is possible to have plant and equipment measured under cost model, whereas property under revaluation model. So that is where it is accommodated. Okay, so the first sentence requirement is met. Now it says changes in fair value, of course, of property are sometimes reported in profit or loss, but usually in OCI. Now here we start mentioning that any downward revaluation is reported through income statement if there is no prior revaluation surplus for that property. In this case, of course, we are referring to the property. That's why the word used. So, however, any upward revaluation is reported first through OCI if there is no prior loss reported for such unit of property. And that is the reason why this distinction exists. Okay, so even this is now being addressed as far as this expression is concerned. The third point comes is depreciation on plant and equipment as a proportion of carrying amount is much higher than for the owner property. Now very clearly in this case we observe that a depreciation is nothing but a charge over the life of the asset. Okay, that's one context. Now when I say I'm looking at property, now property would normally comprise of land and building. Okay, now land is non-depreciable. It simply means that under property only building is depreciable and the expected useful life of building is likely to be more than that of plant and equipment, and that is the reason why this observation also exists. Is it okay? Right? Quite straightforward one. So you need to obviously put these points as a part of your solution. It goes on the other category. We'll look at the investment properties. Another note says that the owned property rented out to others is not depreciated and is revalued, and the changes are made through P&L. Now that's where the inconsistencies arise. We say under investment property, if the property is measured at fair value, any changes are reported through fair value and no depreciation is charged to the investment property. That's the requirement of the standard. We have practically picked this entire statement into our answer as a part of this discussion. So that is how you would be able to target the requirement of your questions and see to it that you're not really missing out any relevant context. So 7 marks, this kind of explanation is quite sufficient, works well for you and helps you score good marks there in the exams. Looks okay so far. So thank you very much from my side. Good day and take care. Bye-bye.